Start with calf raises. Take your time, don't go up as high until you get the balance. Soft knees, so slight bend in the knees, rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine, you've got tension and your core is engaged. Exhale, coming down, inhale. And if you want to roll onto your heels of your feet for a bit of a stretch, you'll start to feel a warm sensation in the calves. Keep going. Might even be a burn-in. Works well with high reps. So making sure your ankles, knees and hips are in alignment, so you're not going too wide. From here, I'm going to come down into a squat, then onto calf raises. So big muscles, so pushing your hips backwards so your knee doesn't go over your toe, that's important. Just go down as far as what feels comfortable for you just now. If you're finding it difficult, slow it right down. Just try not to stop, as that builds endurance and stamina for this exercise. Inhale, rise, exhale as we come down. With the arms loading the front, the lower back is getting warmed up as well. 2 more, and you can either rise, on the last one we can hold and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Feel the warmth, 3, 2, 1, and rise. Good, shake off those legs. Hopefully you've got a burning just above the knee, that's what we're looking for. Next, we're going to warm up the glutes and the hamstrings, the back of the knees with good mornings. So shoulder blades squeeze together like you've got a P in between your shoulder blades and you're trying to squeeze it. Hips come back, slight bend in the knee, weight in the heel, so you should be able to lift your toes and squeeze your bum cheeks up. So we're working the posterior. Really push them shoulder blades back and keep them that way. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings, the back of the legs. And keeping the back nice and flat, chest proud. You shouldn't be curving at all in the lower back. Just go down as what you have a flat spine. Another 5. 3. Might start to feel a bit of burn in the lower back. Cramping in the lower body. 2 more. 1. Good. Back to the start. Shake off your legs if you need to. Another 15 calf raises, so stretch and flex. Good. Inhale as we rise, exhale as fall. And when we go into the squats, we're searching for that burn and you're trying to ignore it for as long as possible. Okay, into 10 squats, then calf raise. Slower you come down, the harder it's going to be. Pushing the knees out as you come down. It's going down to whatever feels comfortable. Another 5. 3. Good. 1 more, and I'm going to pulse for 10 this time. Let's go. 10, 9, 8. Let it burn. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rise. Well done. Last round. Good mornings. Elbows together. Shake off your legs if you need to. Hips come back. Bracing the core. Squeezing the bum cheeks up. Power's coming from the bum. Make sure you're feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. Another 10. 4, 3, 2, last 2, last 1, Great. Making our way over to the mat. Grab a drink if you would like one. Now check in with our bodies and see how cat-cow feels like tonight. So untucking the toes. Inhale, spine comes to ceiling. Ooh, feel a bit tight myself. And then inhale into cow. So if you're aware of a pelvic tilt, an anterior one where you push your hips forward and you've got back pain, do more of the cat rather than the cow. So palms directly under your shoulders, knees directly under the bony parts of the hips, not the muscle. Let's do another 10. Nice safe one to start or finish the day on. Hopefully you're getting warmed up and you're more mobilised, less stiffness or tightness now. First thing to move is the pelvis, last thing's the neck. Another 5. Get that oxygen in. Good, into child's pose, knees together, extending the arms, keeping tension in the arms, just circle the wrists off and let's get those joints nice and lubricated. And sink your forehead into the mat. Even go left and right with your forehead, if that feels good. Let's warm up in the twisty plane, the transverse plane. So next, I'm going to thread the needle. Threading through, looking through, following your gaze all the way up and as round as far as you can. Same arm. Looking for 15, then we're going to go into a deep stretch whilst we warm. Trying to get further and further round. So again, you might be stiff as you start. Going as fast or slow as you want, not too fast though. 1 second up, 2 seconds down. Enjoy how that feels when you twist through, threading that needle. Exhale as you thread that needle. Another 2, 1. And then we're going to hold that position, extend the arm overhead. Want to make sure that you're not pushing your chest into the floor. You're still trying to keep fist forward, if that makes sense, to the right. Stay here, or you can increase the stretch further by tucking your hand in your back pocket. Again, be aware of your collapse in your chest. Keep it upright. That opens up the chest. Deep breaths. Every deep breath in, pushing your belly out, like a big Buddha's belly on the inhale. Use your ribs, your diaphragm to get the oxygen in, fill them lungs, and slowly exhale, sink further into the stretch. And you'll feel tension getting released. And the next inhale, I'm going to come out of that stretch, move over to the other side and see how that feels. Let's compare. So 15 around the other side. So you might be a bit stiff switching over, just be patient. And your arms staying shoulder height. Another 5. One, last one, and then we'll hold. Extend the arm above. Let's see how that feels. Don't let that chest collapse. If that feels okay on this side, go ahead and tuck that hand in your back pocket. And don't let that chest collapse into the floor. So deep breaths, 2 massive breaths in and out. Watch for that tension being released on the exhale again. Good, carefully coming out. So next we're going to be on all fours. So you can come in and out, shake your wrist off if it's giving you, if you're feeling it in your wrist, or you can go on to fists. But you want to make sure you're not directly under your shoulder, you're just a little bit further forward so you're not clamping any nerves. From here, I'm going to come out and round. So big circles with the hips to get warmth in that joint. Big circles with painting with our knee. Make sure you're not dumping in the other hip, the stabilizing hip. You're trying to distribute your weight evenly over both sides of the body. Good. That's the hard part. Bracing the abs, having tension in the abs. Another 2, 1, and over to the other side. Good. See how we get on this side. Again, make sure you're not dumping. Big circles, as big as you can. Notice how that feels. Is there any clicking and tightness? Two, 1. Good. From here, bird dog taps. So we're going to extend the leg, extend the arm, tap to the floor and back up. You're not going any higher than hip and shoulder height. Doesn't really serve a purpose right now. Again, keeping tension in the core, distributing your weight evenly over the left and right side. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Over to the other side. And take note where this is burning, because these are the weaker parts of your body that we're working. Deep breaths. It's normal to feel this in the shoulders as well. 5, 4, either shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Good. Into child's pose. Let's go a little bit wider with the child's pose. Open up the hips. Now they're nice and warm. Coming down to elbows. Let yourself settle in. You can move side to side with the hips if that feels good. Deep breath in, and on the exhale, if it feels good, come a little bit further and forehead to mat if you can. And you'll feel stretch. Mild discomfort in the inner thigh, in the groin area. That's what we want. So hold that discomfort. It shouldn't be painful. If it's painful, you've gone too far, so just bring it in a little bit. 2 more deep, deep breaths. Excellent. Taking your time, coming over. I'm going to do that all again. So we're going to pin big circles with the knee coming all the way up to fire hydrants. Foot's coming up as well. 12 to 15, or if you can only feel like you can do 6, it's absolutely fine. If this is too challenging, reduce the range of movement, paint smaller circles. It's always something that you can do. Again, distribute your weight evenly. 5, 3, good. 1 more. Good. Same leg comes out and extends into the bird dog taps for 10. 6, 8. Good. When you finish the last rep, we're going to move over to the other side. 15 big circles. Make sure you're inhaling as the knee comes closer to the body and exhaling as it moves away. Five, 4, 2. If it's challenging, it's working. 1 more. Good. Bird dog taps for 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Wide knee child's pose. Same again. Let's see if it feels differently this time. Let's see if we can go either a little bit wider in the knee or further down to the floor. Two more deep breaths. Excellent. Feel free to grab a drink. I'm going to start waking up the core. Okay, so starting position. I'm going to be on your knee. If you want to roll up the mat for a bit more cushioning on the knee, that's fine, or grab another mat. That foamy one's thicker as well. And the other leg is pointed out to the side. So we're going to start working the sides of the stomach, so the internal and external obliques, and the QL muscle that's attached from the spine to the top of the hip. That stabilises the pelvis, keeps it nice and strong and upright. So from here, I'm going to come down to the side, feel the stretch, and up again. Chest proud. So imagine 2 planes of glass in front and behind you, so you're not leaning forward at all. Just go down as far as you'll be able to stay in that alignment. So rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine, you've got tension. The further down you go, the more you're loading that side of the stomach. Another 5, 4, good. 3. So think of a plank, you're just holding the tension in your core. 1 more. Good. Same position, same kind of thing we're doing. I'm going to load it more though this time. So arms to the back of the head, coming down, round and up. Or you can just come down and up again. Exhale, coming up. 7 more if you can. 6. 5. 3 more. Good. 1. You might be feeling this in your legs as well as it's stabilising that weight. 1 more. Good, well done. Extending the arms this time, adding more weight, or you can stay the same. So strong arms, so tension in the arms, coming down as far as you can, that feels comfortable, and back up. Let's come over a little bit more as we crunch and curve in the side. Inhale, coming down, exhale, and the hard work coming up. Get that breath in there, another 5, 4, 3, 2, keep them playing to glass in front and behind you. 1 more. Well done. I'm going to swap over legs and do that the other side. So we start with our hands on our hips for 15 as we wake everything up and see how it feels. So rib cage is tucked in, you've got tension. So think about which muscles you want to work here and place the tension and you overuse them. That's my muscle connection. Four, 3, 2, 1 more, and then we're going to bring in those rotations. So coming down, looking at the mat, and then back up for 10. Don't forget to breathe. A lot of people hold their breath during core exercises. Last 2. 1 more. Good. Extending the arms for 10 and all the way down. Remember that crunch, squeeze. 6, good. Last 4. Get a nice stretch on the opposite side as well. Last 2. 1. Well done. Sorry I bloody saw that on YouTube now. Okay, we're going to go into the mermaid stretch and stretch that out. Now we're nice and warm in the sides of the hip. If you're feeling tight around the hip or the pelvis, hopefully this is going to sort you out. So inhale to lengthen, exhale over. We're going to bend over the front knee, if that makes sense. The side, that's with the knee on the front. Deep breath. We're not forcing anything, we're just leaning. Pushing your rib away from your hip. Shoulders down, away from ears, chest proud. Hand over your head as much as possible. Deep breath in and an exhale. Keeping your hip bones on the mat. Next, I'm going to come down into a side plank position. Okay, so elbow directly under your shoulder. This is a shoulder exercise as well, so don't forget that if it's on fire, just come out, shake it off, and then back in. Strengthening the shoulder girdle, as well as the sides. So I'm going to come all the way up and all the way down. So I want you to crunch and then feel the stretch. Crunch, feel the stretch. Good. Looking for 15. Or as many as you can. These are tough. And doesn't we want you to crunch at the top, but if you can only get your hip a little bit off the floor, it's something. Something's better than nothing, as always. Another 5, 4, 2, 1 more. You want to hold that position. As you do that, you want to do 10 clamshells. Really good for the piriformis and challenging the glutes on the other side. Keeping the tension and that little mini curve in the sides of the stomach. Going for 10. Good one for rehab, this. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bottom knee comes forward for that mermaid stretch again. Let's see if we can go a little bit further in or if it feels a bit smoother. Inhale to lengthen. Good. Relaxing the neck, shoulders down, away from ears. Hips in the floor. One more deep breath in. Excellent. Inhale. I'm going to swap over to the other side now. I was so tight around my hips after pregnancy, and that is what sorted it out. The side plank dips into stretch. I'd highly recommend it if you're tight in the hips. Okay, 15. We're going all the way up. Crunch a curve at the side and slowly back down and feel a bit of a stretch. Making sure you're all in one line. You're pushing your hip flexors, your hips out. Good. Making sure the glute isn't overtaking the movement. You're making sure it's in the sides of your stomach. Another 5, 4, 2. One more. When you've finished your last rep, I'm going to go into clamshells. 15. 5, 6. When you finish the last rep, and come into that stretch again. Knee comes forward. Inhale. Deep breath in, shoulders down. Good. Feel free to grab a drink. So move over to semi-supine. I'm going to start with some relaxation breath work. Inhale, arms rise. Pause at the top with those full lungs before slowly exhaling through the lips. Inhale, using the belly and the diaphragm and chest to inhale, exhale, it all falls. If you want to work the pelvic floor, inhale, relax the pelvic floor like you're on the toilet, passing wind and urine. Exhale, doing the opposite, holding it in, keeping tension in the abs as well. Inhale, relax, making room for the oxygen. Exhale, holding the abs in the pelvic floor like you don't want to pass wind or urine. Again, 2 more. So the pelvic floor works like this anyway, but we're over-exaggerating the movement to strengthen it. Good. Next, we're going to bring our legs onto tabletop. Rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine, keeping your back flat on the floor. If this is too difficult, have more of a bend in the knees and come in and out of it as much as you need to. Hold, hold, hold. Stay here, or for 10 reps, we try and touch our toes. We're imprinting into the mat. 5, 4, 2, 1, and release. Good. Inhale for 3, Slowly exhale, 5 counts. Another 2 like that. Use that pelvic floor. Inhale, relaxing everything, pushing the belly out. Exhale, drawing the belly button in and pelvic floor. It's the opposite of what you would think. Scissors next. So extending both legs, bringing your knee to your nose as far in as you can get. And it's a bicep workout because you're pulling, and hamstring stretch as well. Taking your time as you swap over, because that's loading the lower core. Or you can just stay with the upper back on the floor if that feels better. And you can also sit these out and just practice your relaxation, your breath work. Or you can do some cat-cow, anything that feels good for you right now. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and release. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale. One more. Knees are bent. We're going to come up, crunch our knees, lifting our hips if you can off the floor for a crunch, and out again. Looking for 15, or as many as you can with that burn. And 10. Last 3, 2, well done. Oh, burns. Inhale. Next, we're going to go into crisscross or bicycle crunch. Looking left and right as much as you can. Squeezing the sides of the stomach. Bring that shoulder blade off the floor if you're able to. Going for 15 in total. Really crunching up. The last 5. When you finish your last rep, relax into the breath work. One more. Okay, last exercise. Going to be leg raises. So I want you to stay planted as much in the mat as you can and only come down as far as you're able to keep that connection with your lower back and the mat, if that makes sense. So I can't go all the way down yet. But if you can, excellent. Looking for 12 pulses. Trying to not get that lower back off the floor. No hip clicks. A hip click is a sign there's a core breakdown, something's not working right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, well done. Inhale for 2. Exhale for 4. One more. And we'll start winding down now, relaxing the body and kick-starting the parasympathetic nervous system. So knees together, I'm going to bring them over. So I'm going to shift your hips over to the right, knees over to your left for spinal twist. So first of all, shoulders blades should be on the mat. Once you've done that, you can start to progress it by looking the opposite way to your knees. I want you to start being aware of any tension, any tightness, maybe around the hip, maybe around the glute. Deep breath. On the inhale, pushing your belly out. And exhale, let it fall back. If you want to increase the stretch, straighten that top leg. Hook your hand over the back of it. So ideally, your hips should be stacked on top of each other. And your knees. You might feel tightness in your lower back as well. Use your breath work. Every inhale pushes you a little bit out, and then the next inhale you're able to get in a little bit more. Relaxing your shoulders, your glutes, just sink into the mat, melt as you become a dead weight. The next inhale, carefully, we're going to move over to the other side. So as I always say, treat every side differently. So just because you did it on one side, you might not be able to on the other side. So shift your hips over to the left, knees over to the right and stack them. And get your shoulder blades on the mat if you're able to. And then from there, you progress. So you can look the opposite way first to your knees. You might feel tightness in your front of your shoulder and your pec. If you're able to, you can extend and progress this move by extending that top leg. And try and relax as much as you can into it. It takes time. The other night I was 2.5 minutes in this position until my shoulder blade went on the floor. It just takes time. You just use your breath work. Very powerful. Just letting your brain know that everything's fine. The tension that's released can be really deep in the back. It can be around the ribs. Just notice, just observe. Try and switch it off and sink. On the next inhale, move over to the side where you can use your hands to get you up into the upright position. I'm going to do pigeon pose, well a variation of it. I think this is called the swan. So kind of like the mermaid, bringing one knee forward, one knee back. Try and sit in the middle. I'm going to bring our arms forward onto our elbows. We're looking for a stretch in the glute you're sitting on. So your sit bones might lift a little bit. Notice where you're feeling this tension. Is it around your hip area? Is it your lower back? Is it all your glute? Is it in the back leg? One of the best things about Pilates is it gives you the education on what to work on. Deep breaths. Try and relax that glute. And the next inhale, just take your time, I'm going to swap over. And let's compare and see how this side feels. Notice as well if you're being pulled out of the centre, it's a tight glute. Again, get that deep breath in. Good. On the next inhale, I'm going to come into a seated position, whichever one feels comfortable to you. I'm going to sit in the lotus. So we're just going to relax our forearms on our knees. Feel free to close your eyes as we begin relaxation breath work, or you can do pranayama with myself. So relaxation breath work, Pilates, as we've done some of that already. So it's inhale through the nose and slower exhale through the mouth. Pause at the top for more relaxation. So inhale, pause for 2, then slowly exhale. If you want to practice the pranayama, we're going to do box breathing. So we're going to breathe in for 4, pause for 4, and slowly exhale for 4. Then pause again without any oxygen for 4. So any count of 4 feels comfortable to you. And make sure that you're trying to introduce yogic breathing. So it's on the inhale, you're pushing your belly out along with the rib cage and then the chest. So stage 1, 2, and 3, and then reversing it. So it's the chest that falls first, then your ribs, and then your belly. So inhale, stage 1, 2, 3, pause, and exhale, coming down again. Every inhale, notice how your breath feels. Big breaths. Every exhale, pushing you further away from any negativity that you've experienced throughout this week or last week that's still annoying you. You're letting go with every exhale. Inhale is you rising above it, moving on, accepting. Trying to sit tall, chest proud. Concentrate on the 3 stages of breath. Inhale, belly rises, then ribs, then chest. Exhale, chest falls, ribs fall, belly empties. One of the ways to kickstart the parasympathetic nervous system to help you with relaxation and sleep, bringing you out of a fight-flight response, is stimulating the vagus nerve. So by no means you don't have to do this, but the humming is really powerful. I've had some really good feedback lately, so it's totally up to you. So what the idea behind that is the vagus nerve sits behind the vocal cords, and when you hum, you stimulate it and kickstart it. So on the next big inhale, you're just going to hum all your breath to a big hum to vibrate your vocal cords. So I'm going to go louder so no one feels silly. But a big inhale. Another 3 like that. One more. Let's bring it back to the breath. Excellent, thank you for coming tonight, Namaste. I hope you sleep well. I'm always here for any feedback.